I had just finished washing blood off the hospital tiles when the black Jeep came. 2 men, suits, dark shades, no smiles. They didn't knock. They just stood at the door and said, "Are you Love?" I nodded. The taller one checked a tablet. "Love Akpan?" I blinked. "Yes. Who are you people?" He answered with a calm voice. "Come with us. The man you've been helping every morning, he wants to see you." I froze. Not the old man again. The same man who sat outside our hospital gate every morning in that torn blue jacket. The one people called Baba Trash. Was this a joke? Hey, story lovers, before I tell you what happened inside that Jeep, make sure you subscribe to Story and Soul, your home for African stories with drama, soul, and serious jaw-dropping twists. Click that red button. Don't just watch, feel. Now back to the part where my life stopped making sense. Before the Jeep, before the suits, before the madness, there was just me and him. Every morning by 6:20 a.m., I passed him. He sat cross-legged beside the hospital gate, chewing ground nuts slowly like he had nowhere else to be. His beard was rough. His shoes didn't match. One eye was always half closed. He never begged. He never greeted first. He just sat there like furniture. The nurses called him old news. Some patients thought he was mad. The security man even peed close to him once. No shame. But something about him, I don't know, made me stop. "Morning, sir," I said the first time. He looked up, surprised. "Ah, morning, daughter." That daughter got me. It reminded me of my late uncle, so it became a routine. I gave him whatever I had, banana, biscuit. One time I gave him my last pure water. "Drink, sir," I said. He smiled, lifted it like it was wine. "May your days be long," I laughed. "Amen. Even if the days are broken hungry." We had inside jokes. One day he said, "Love, your shoe is crying." I looked down. My soul had split open. I burst out laughing. "No mind am. Nah open-toe shoe," I said. But I didn't do all that because I expected anything. I just didn't like how people treated him like dust. Once, Nurse Patrick said to me, "You and that your old friend again? Hope he's your sugar daddy." I gave her a dry look. "Nah, your papa?" she hissed. "Just wait till you fall sick from touching that rag." Sometimes I wanted to ask the old man who he was, why he never left that spot, why his left wrist had a faded tattoo that said, Lord R. But I didn't. Some stories you wait for them to speak first. Until one day, he disappeared. 3 mornings, 4, 7, gone. I asked the Okada riders, the security man, even the woman frying puff-puff near the gutter. Nobody saw him leave. Nobody cared. But I did. I felt it in my chest like something unfinished. Then came the black Jeep. And just like that, my normal life ended. I didn't trust them. Let me just say that clearly. Because which normal human being sees 2 men in suits, steps into a black Jeep with tinted windows, and doesn't pause to pray at least twice? Me, I prayed out loud. "Father, if I'm about to be used for ritual, forgive my sins." Even the biscuit I stole in primary 3. I'm sorry. The short one driving snorted. "You think we're kidnappers?" I looked at him through the rearview mirror. "Sir, with all due respect, your face no even smile once." He kept quiet. Good. The road to where we were going was too smooth, too far, and too clean to be normal Calabar roads. I knew I had entered rich people area when the potholes disappeared. That's when I saw the gate. Black and gold. Bigger than the maternity ward I cleaned every day. The man at the gate wore white gloves. He saluted the Jeep. Inside my chest, my heart started folding clothes. "Where are we?" I asked. "Almost there," said Tall Shade, the one beside me. We entered a compound that looked like film. A house with pillars, grass that looked ironed, and a fountain shaped like a lion throwing up water. I was still adjusting my wrapper when the door opened. There he was. The old man. Not on the floor, not in dirty clothes, not chewing groundnut. He was sitting in a red chair, drinking from a wine glass like a full-blown chairman. His beard was combed. His hands shook slightly, but he looked like a man I didn't know. "Ah," he said, "my daughter has come." I stepped back. "Sir, I don't understand." He laughed softly, not the dry laugh I was used to. This one had belly in it. Rich people laugh. He tapped the side of his chair. "Come, love. Sit." The name shocked me. He remembered my name. I moved closer slowly like someone approaching a masquerade. The 2 suitmen stepped aside and vanished down a corridor. The room was cold, AC full blast. Everything smelled like polish and power. I sat on a soft leather stool. It almost swallowed my small body. You're not mad?" I asked. He chuckled. "No, but I suppose it was easy to believe that." But you were always dirty. I was watching. Watching what, sir? He placed his wine glass down gently. You. Silence. I blinked. Miki? He nodded. Every morning, rain or sun, no makeup, no fake smile, just you, a cleaner with dignity, a poor girl with manners, a tired woman who still found strength to give. I swallowed. But why? He looked into the air like he was reading a memory. I lost everything 3 years ago. My wife, my driver, my company. I went blind in one eye, then stroke. I went from being the man everyone stood for to the man people stepped over. His hands trembled slightly. They all disappeared. My staff, my family, my friends. But I had money. I just didn't know what to do with it. I was quiet. My mouth was dry. You were testing people? I asked. He nodded. Every week I changed spot. Caught first in a comm, then MCC Road, then finally the hospital gate. Some spat on me. Some stole my walking stick. One child poured Fanta on me. He smiled. But you, love, you saw me. I couldn't speak. My body was present, but my spirit had gone to buy recharge card. I sat there, holding my purse, legs crossed like a church usher. My head started calculating everything I had ever said to him. Had I insulted him? Did I scratch my armpit near him? I'm sorry if I ever. He raised his hand. You owe me no apology. He stood, slowly, carefully. Come, there's someone I want you to meet. I followed. The corridor was long and quiet, paintings everywhere. Paintings that had faces of women in jelly and men in agbada. Some were crying, some were smiling. I didn't understand anything, but I followed. We reached a door. He knocked. Once, a young man opened, fair-skinned, muscles like Dangote cement, shirt tucked in, face like a photo. Yes, sir, the boy said. This is her. The boy looked at me. Her? Yes, the old man said. The one I told you about. Wait, I said. Told him what? They both smiled. Then the young man said, You're more beautiful in person, love. I took a step back. Please, what's going on? The old man turned to me, his eyes soft. Love, I don't have long to live. My chest went tight, but I've been building something quietly. A trust fund, a legacy project, a home for the broken, a foundation for the forgotten. I want someone to manage it, someone who knows what it feels like to be ignored, someone like you. I blinked like a goat in the rain. Sir, me? I don't even have Baba Yasi. He laughed. You have sense. That's more than half the people with certificate. Then he said something that changed everything. I also want you to marry my son. Wait. Pause. Play again. He said, I want you to marry my son. I looked at Muscle Boy. He smiled politely like someone selling insurance. Is this a prank? I asked. The old man raised a brow. I am not joking. I wash blood. I iron bedsheets. I don't belong here. He smiled. That's exactly why you do. I stood still like Nipa pole. Mary, you're what? My son, the old man repeated calmly. I stared at him, then at the fine boy behind him. His lips were smiling, but his eyes, I couldn't read them. I backed away, one small step, then another. I'm sorry, sir. You've been kind. But this one has passed respect. I turned around, but before I could take 5 steps, one of the suit men reappeared, like they had wired my thoughts to his ear. He blocked the hallway, arms folded. Where are you going, Miss Love? I need to breathe, I said. Breathe in here. His tone was polite, but the meaning behind it? That one had pepper. Something told me I wasn't going anywhere just yet. I turned back. My hands were suddenly sweaty. My wrapper had started to slip. I tightened it and faced the old man. Sir, you said you needed my help, but this marriage talk, where is it coming from? The old man slowly walked toward a large painting by the stairs. It showed a woman in a green lace blouse holding a baby. My wife, he said softly. And the child was my first son. He died during his NYSC. Drunk driver hit him in Kaduna. I stayed quiet. He turned to the young man beside him. This is my second son, Patrick. He was raised in Canada, schooled there, but he came back last year after my stroke. The man, Patrick, looked at me with calm eyes. You're probably wondering why I haven't spoken much. Very much, I replied. He smiled a little. Because my father said if I speak too soon, you might think I'm forcing myself on you. I looked down at my feet. Sir, with all due respect, you don't even know me. I live in a face me, I face you with one broken fan. My bathroom is outside. My life is not red carpet material. The old man stepped closer. You have a rare gift. You make people feel seen. He paused. And I'm not asking you to marry him now, but I want you close. I want to teach you what I know about people, about money, about loyalty. He lowered his voice. There's more to all this than you think, love. I need someone I can trust before they take it all. My brows narrowed. Take what, sir? But he didn't answer. He just turned and walked away slowly. They gave me a room upstairs. I say room, but let me be honest, it looked like hotel presidential suite. The bed alone was wider than my entire family's mattress joined together. A girl named Eliza helped me settle in. She said she was the housekeeper. Pretty girl. Her accent was giving half UK, half Aqua Ibom. I couldn't tell. Do you like vanilla or strawberry body wash? She asked. I blinked. Sister, I beg anyone that removes smell is okay. She laughed like we were friends. But I wasn't relaxed. I kept looking at the door. Waiting. For what? I don't know. Night came. I couldn't sleep. The AC was cold. The silence was loud. My phone had no signal. Or maybe the house blocked it. I sat by the window and looked out. That's when I saw someone walking in the garden below. Tall. Straight back. Gray hoodie. It was Patrick. He was pacing like someone calculating something heavy. I watched him for a while. Then something strange happened. He suddenly stopped walking and looked straight up at my window. Straight at me. My heart skipped. How did he know? I moved away quickly, pretending like I wasn't watching. But then, knock knock. On my door. Soft knock. But the kind that carries weight. Love? Patrick's voice. I opened halfway. Yes? You can't sleep? I shook my head. Me neither, he said. He stood in the doorway, arms folded, face calm. Can I come in? I hesitated, then stepped aside. He entered, not like someone exploring, like someone already familiar. He sat on the arm of the chair. I sat on the bed, cross-legged like a girl doing night prep. Then, silence. He was the one who broke it. My dad is dying, love. My heart dropped. I nodded. I figured. But it's worse than he's saying. He had a second stroke, and this time, the doctors said it's a matter of weeks. I stayed still. He looked at me. You know why he picked you? I shook my head. Because everyone else around him is either fake or hungry for what he has. He leaned forward a little. But me, I'm not sure if I'm even supposed to be here. What do you mean? I asked. He chuckled softly. I'm not his biological son. Boom. What? He nodded. He adopted me when I was 6. After my real parents were deported, he stood and walked slowly to the mirror. He never treated me like a stranger. He gave me his name, his world. But now there's a clause in his will. It says I only inherit if I marry someone he approves. I stared at him. And that someone is me? He nodded. Why? Because you didn't look at him like dirt. He turned to me. Love, I'm not here to force you. But if you say yes, even if it's fake at first, he'll give you a life you've never dreamed of. And me? I get to keep what little family I've ever known. I was quiet. The fan hummed in the ceiling. Then I said, So, you're saying we should act like we're in love? He didn't blink. Yes. And after he dies, that's up to you. I stood, walked to the window, looked down at the garden, and for the first time in my life, I didn't know whether I was in a dream or someone's long game. But one thing I knew, this story was only just beginning. The next morning, I woke up with my wrapper rolled halfway up my stomach and my mouth wide open like I was catching rain. Rich bed or not, sleep had bullied me, but even with my eyes closed, I knew something had shifted. That feeling you get when air changes, like something in the room is off. I opened my eyes. Eliza was already standing by the window, drawing the curtains. She smiled. Good morning, sis. I sat up slowly. Good morning. She placed a tray by the bedside. Tea, toast, and one thing I hadn't seen in years. Boiled egg. I blinked. This one is breakfast or visa approval? She giggled. Oga Patrick said you should eat before you come downstairs. He's waiting for you. I nodded slowly. My stomach was already dancing small shoki at the smell of tea. But as she turned to leave, she paused. Her back was still facing me. Love? She said. You seem like a good person? I raised one brow. Thank you? Still not turning around, she added, Just don't trust too quickly in this house. Not everything here is what it looks like. My heart paused. What do you mean? She turned slightly, looked at me, then smiled. That kind of dry smile you give when you've already said too much. Enjoy your breakfast. And she left. I didn't touch the egg. I wrapped it in tissue and hid it in my bag. I don't know why. Instinct. As I walked down the wide staircase, every step I took echoed like drums. Paintings stared at me from the walls, faces I didn't recognize, eyes that seemed too alive. I kept replaying Eliza's words. Don't trust too quickly. Was she talking about Patrick? Or the old man? Or herself? When I entered the dining room, Patrick was already seated, shirt rolled up looking like a bank manager in a movie. He stood when he saw me, pulled a seat out. "Morning, love. Sleep okay?" I nodded and sat slowly. He poured me orange juice like we were in honeymoon phase already. Then he said something weird. "My father wants us to take a few photos today." "Photos?" I asked. He smiled. "To make the story believable." "Story?" He leaned forward. "Our story. The whole relationship thing." My brain was still waking up, and this one had started love acting. I cleared my throat. "So we're just diving into it like that?" "Fake dating 101, he replied. "Photos for social media? A little PDA. We'll go out for lunch. Maybe the press sees us." I squinted. "So I'm now pepper them gang?" He laughed. "Only if you want to be." But something in his tone was too smooth, too prepared. Like he had done this before, and suddenly I didn't like how fast he was moving. We took photos, in the garden, on the staircase, even by the lion fountain. At one point, he held my waist. I stiffened. "Relax," he whispered. "It's just pretend." But when his hand lingered a second too long, I moved away. I didn't say anything, but I saw it, a flash of something in his eyes. Just for a second. Then it vanished. That afternoon, one of the suit men drove us to a restaurant near Marina. We sat by the window. Waiters hovered like flies on salary. Patrick ordered for both of us without asking what I wanted. Red flag. But I kept smiling, because I was in too deep already. Halfway through the meal, a woman walked past our table. Tall, skin like burnt caramel, eyes sharp like blade. She looked at Patrick, then at me, then hissed softly. Loud enough. I blinked. "Who's that?" I whispered. Patrick didn't even turn to check. Ignore her, just someone bitter. My food suddenly tasted like chalk. When I got up to use the toilet, the woman was waiting near the corridor. She didn't smile. She folded her arms. "Let me guess, you're the new girl?" I frowned. "Excuse me?" The last one stayed 3 weeks. They said she disappeared. No one asked questions. I felt my throat tighten. "Who are you?" She leaned closer. "Be careful, cleaner girl. You're playing a game that's older than you." And she walked away. Back at the house, I couldn't shake off what the woman said. The last one disappeared. Disappeared how? Why? I went to the library. I remembered Patrick had said he liked reading, and I needed somewhere quiet to think. The room smelled like books and secrets. I wasn't searching for anything. I just needed peace. But then I noticed something strange. One of the shelves had dust, but there was one book, History of Eastern Banking, that was clean. Too clean. I pulled it. Click. A drawer at the bottom popped open. My eyes widened. Inside, photos. Printed ones, not in frames, just loose. Stacked. The first one, Patrick, smiling beside another girl. Pretty, slim, dimple. She was holding his hand. Second photo. Same girl, same house, standing by the lion fountain. Third photo. Her, standing alone in the library. Fourth photo. Gone. Ripped in half. My hand shook as I flipped the back of one photo. There was a name. Nina, August 2023. I felt dizzy. That woman from the restaurant, was she talking about Nina? I closed the drawer gently, put everything back. But I knew. Something was wrong. Something wasn't adding up. I went to my room and locked the door, sat on the bed, opened my bag and stared at the egg I saved. Then I whispered to myself, "Love, you need to get out." But when I checked the window, the gates were already locked, and a camera I hadn't noticed before was blinking red. I didn't sleep that night, not because the mattress wasn't soft, but because I knew the truth was hiding in that house, and the house was hiding me from it. I sat in the dark listening. The walls had their own voice. Footsteps, distant laughter, a door creaking 3 rooms away. At one point, I heard a soft knock on someone else's door. Then nothing. Silence is the loudest thing in a rich man's house. By 6 a.m., I had made up my mind. I needed answers. Before I ended up like Nina, wherever she was, I went back to the library. Same spot. Same book. History of Eastern Banking. Click, drawer opened. I didn't touch the photos again. This time I felt around inside the drawer's walls. Knock. Knock. One part sounded hollow. I slid my finger under the wooden panel and found a loose edge. I pulled. A file. An actual file. Thin, cream-colored, held by a red ribbon. I untied it. Inside were 3 pages. Medical reports for Nina Ugbodo. Blood tests. Psychological evaluation. And one thing I couldn't understand. Open quote. Subject rejected transfer. Procedure aborted. Close quote. What kind of procedure? I flipped again. A final page, handwritten, different pen, open quote, too anxious, fights sedative, disposed quietly, do not inform Patrick. Close quote, my whole body went cold. Disposed quietly. I read it again, then again. Disposed. Like trash, like an object, like a mistake. I didn't hear Patrick enter. His voice made me jump. You shouldn't be in here. I spun around. He was standing at the doorway. No smile, no warmth. His eyes were darker than I'd ever seen them. I started. I got lost. He stepped in, slowly. You opened the drawer. I swallowed. What happened to her? I asked. His jaw tightened. Who? He replied. Nina. He closed the door. I told you not everything is as it seems. He took another step toward me. You think this house runs on kindness? You think my father is a saint? He laughed, a dry, bitter thing. He picked you because you're obedient, because you give without question. You were never chosen out of love. I stepped back until I hit the shelf. You're scaring me, I whispered. He leaned close. You should be scared. That was when the door burst open. Eliza. She held something in her hand, a taser or shock device. I don't know. She pressed it against Patrick's side. He yelled and dropped to the floor. I screamed. Eliza! She pulled me by the arm. Run, now. I didn't think. I just ran. Out the library, past the dining, down the corridor. My slippers almost flew off. We reached the back exit. Security camera. Red light blinking. Eliza waved a card. The light turned green. The door clicked open. Go? She said. Follow the side bush. There's a broken part of the fence. Crawl under. What about you? I asked, panting. She looked at me, eyes filled with something like sorrow. I'll tell them I helped him up late. Bought us 5 minutes. Maybe 10. Don't waste it. I hugged her tight. I didn't even know her last name. I never would. I ran. Bush scratched my legs. Fence tore my wrapper. My back scraped the concrete. But I didn't stop. Not until I was out. I ran till my lungs almost burst. I found a major road. Flagged a kiki. The man looked confused when he saw my torn clothes. Hospital? He asked. I nodded. Yes. And step on it. I got to the hospital where it all started. Told the matron I had an emergency. Borrowed a phone. Called the police. Called the media. Called everybody. That evening, headlines were everywhere. Well-known philanthropist arrested for medical trafficking ring. Cleaner exposes ritual procedure hidden in mansion. Missing girl found buried behind private clinic. Yes, they found Nina's body, a shallow grave, covered with cement bags behind one of the abandoned guest houses. The cause of death? Unstable sedative reaction during an illegal procedure. Something involving memory extraction for a secret investor group overseas. Organ donation was just the front. They wanted what made people kind. They believed certain souls carried emotional DNA that could be studied, bottled, and sold. It sounded like mad science, but it was real. The old man? He was never dying. It was all a performance. He had built the foundation as a front, testing girls from poor backgrounds to find clean hearts, ones they could study, ones they could possibly extract from. Nina resisted, fought back. They killed her. And me? I was next. 3 months later, I stood in a court gallery and watched Patrick get sentenced to 25 years. His father disappeared. Vanished from house arrest the night before trial. Some say he escaped to the Caribbean. Others say he was eliminated by his own people. Eliza? Gone too. No trace. No records. I still wonder if she ever existed, or if she was another survivor trying to save one more girl before vanishing for good. And me? I moved to a new city. Started working in a community center, teaching girls how to spot red flags, how to say no, how to run fast, and how to trust their instincts. They call me Auntie Love now. I still wear my wrapper, still walk to work, still greet every old man I see, but I never, ever enter black Jeeps. Sometimes, I dream of Nina. She doesn't speak. She just stands there, holding an egg in her palm, same one I saved that morning, and then she disappears. I told this story not to scare you, but because I want you to understand, kindness is power, but in the wrong hands, kindness can become a weapon. What do you think? Do you agree with how love handled everything? Would you have entered that Jeep? Was Patrick a victim or just evil? Let me know in the comments. And if this story touched you, check the right corner of your screen for more soul-stirring stories like this one. Click, watch, subscribe, and share. Until next time, this is Story and Soul.